Namaste, friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Tarot, and we are going to do our Sacred Union Daily Spiritual Sapience Wisdom energy, reading the energies for our highest and greatest good in order to give us some guidance, some, a positioning. I'm hearing where we stand. And that helps us to understand the journey. It's not always about the relationship. So I try to, in these readings, these are just really short readings. I try to keep them for under 15 minutes. But this is about incorporating the wisdom of this journey into your ascension, into your growth. And this is about serving your highest and greatest good, because honestly, if you look back at when you started this journey, if you've done some healing work and you've really made progress in your clearing and healing and growing and shifting your perspective and using these energies, to the twin flame energies, to really propel yourself into higher consciousness. That is what it's all about. And I'll be honest, I'm so grateful to have had this intense energy to shove me into that higher consciousness. So it changes your perspective of your life, your existence, everything that's meaningful to you. So sometimes I just want to focus on that. So in order to do that, I want to use two really profound decks for these readings, our daily spiritual Sapience. And this is the Rumi Oracle deck. And I do read a little bit out of the book, but I just try and read what jumps out at me that's relevant. And then we build the reading around that. And the other one I like to use is the Nostradamus. This is the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus deck, and it's very profound. I don't use this deck for anything except these readings. And this is the second reading, so this is the second time using it. I'm still getting used to it. But it has writings from Nostradamus for each of the cards. And it really does give an insight to the energies and the profoundness of this transformational journey. So I'm going to get started. I only pull 3 cards and then the bottom of the deck, and we'll see how it goes from there. Put that here. All right. So let's get started. Enter the Garden of Delights. Pulled this recently too. Enter the Garden of Delights. Definitely it's a 28 card, which is a 10 card, which is normally the end of a cycle, but you are at the point now where you can embrace the meaningfulness of this journey, not just the twin flame relationship, but what this has done for you. And there's a long poem. This is the Rumi Oracle, but I'm not going to read that. You have been granted entry into a sacred space, a sanctuary for worship. When the soul is well acquainted with love, life becomes a temple of love, and the sacred space in which the soul can grow powerful through expansive worship of love. That's the unconditional love, which is the whole purpose of this journey. You are being invited by your spiritual brother, Rumi, to enter into life, to commit into coming alive, even if at times this feels deeply challenging. To come alive requires shedding of so much adherence to the fear of death. The great brother whispers wisdom into your heart. You have heard it, felt it already. The fear of death is so much more terrible than death itself. You have been through much death, dear one, around you, within you. You have known this dark angel. That is why you are full of life. Your attempts to stay as you have been, to render something in your life immobile, or impervious to change, has failed. So let us celebrate. This oracle comes to you with a message. A new day is dawning for you. This is a time when the past will very soon cease to have any hold on you. Celebration is imminent. You are invited into the golden light of divine plenty. Put your worries behind you now and step into your divine inheritance, where all is sorted according to kindness and grace. And that reminds me of being in the energy of divine grace and unconditional love. And that gains you entry into this garden of delights. And this is like the Garden of Eden. This is paradise on earth. And when you shift your perspective into knowing that this is your soul's journey in a 3D human body, and that death is just a transformation or a transition into the next level, but you take these lessons with you. If you can be in the vibration of unconditional love, you are in the Garden of Eden. Okay. So for this, I have shuffled and cut, and I take the bottom card. And this is the Seven of Moons, which is the Seven of Cups in traditional tarot. I'm going to put that center. This one was laying down. Death. I knew that card was going to come out. I'm going to put that there. It was laying when I picked up the deck. Take the top card, the 21 card, the completed world. That makes perfect sense. And then let the universe select a card. I knew that death card was going to come out as we were talking about it. It's amazing. And the end of this cycle means that you have come to a different awareness in your journey, which is elevating you to a higher dimension. And then this is the Two of Suns, which is the Two of Wands. But I see a couple here. So let's talk. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I'm just going to pull out a couple of things in here. What he says. When the sun reaches its zenith, then will thy deepest prophecies be accomplished. So this is about reward and about your universal truth, attainment, success, great change, liberation. You're entering into this new phase, which is a higher consciousness of this unconditional love, this transformation into this Garden of Eden mentality. And you have to choose that. It is a choice to transition. It is, or to transform. It is a choice to enter into this garden. You're being invited, but you have to match that frequency. Let's see what the Two of Suns. I'll go ahead and read what death is. After disasters, earth population shrink. For a long time, peace presides over uninhabited lands, the Garden of Eden. And then let's look at the Two of Suns. When the sun takes up the cycle of his missing days, then the summit of my prophecy will be accomplished. So this is about achievements, maturity, a dominant personality, dark, overboldness, determination, and new possibilities. So this is the shift, the transition from lower states of consciousness into this higher states of consciousness. But you have to choose that. You have to choose. Let's just go ahead and look up the Seven of Moons. You have to make that choice. The divine word will be stricken from the sky. It will not be possible to go further forward. This is one of the cards of the dreamer who fashions wonderful castles from a cloud that soon melt away. Be careful not to become too enraptured by your own plans, forgetting the reality of your life's journey. So the message is, you now are at the choice point of transitioning, transforming into this higher state of consciousness, not just focused on the union with your twin, but knowing that this next level into this higher consciousness, this Garden of Eden mentality, is more about the unconditional love that you have been working toward, and that you have to choose not to just focus on that twin relationship, the union with your twin, but to focus more on your soul's journey in rebirthing itself into this new consciousness. Let's do bottom of the deck. This is the One of Suns. So we have the 1 and 2. Let's see. A lot of sun energy, a lot of bright energy. The sun and the eagle will minister to the victor. The vanquished are allied by futile assurances. This is a great card of beginnings. It suggests to go forward, state in which you cannot fail in whatever you are attempting. It represents birth, both of an idea or an actual child. It encourages you to take action to move forward with confidence. So this is your sign to move forward and allow yourself to transition into this next phase, this next step, this next level of your perception of the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Delights, your soul's experience here on this beautiful planet. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.